the total appraised value of this G.I. Joe lot I found last weekend is probably around... Hey, what is up? Travis Kerr Family Flip Show. So today's episode, I'm going to show you some of the things I found this particular Saturday sourcing items to resell online for a profit. And I hit the G.I. Joe jackpot. So stay tuned to the end because I will give a final assessment of what my estimated appraisal is of all of those items. So anyway, stay tuned. Hope you enjoy. So yard sale finds this morning, I'm going to show you this line of items. And I got every one of these things that you see here, all the way to here. I put all of these items in a big stack and I just asked what the price would be, and she said $40, and I was like, wow, okay, definitely will take this for $40. Why I bought these hats, I don't know. I am a sucker for hats, if you've seen this channel before, but I may put these in like a vintage hat lot, but all of these are older hats that I just had in my lot. These were probably basically free. This is a cool Florida Marlins hat. It is stained, and I threw this in the wash, and I don't think that's going to come out, but it is autographed, and I have no idea whose autograph that is, but I just thought it was cool. And then there's a Hard Rock Tokyo, and then a World Cup 1994 hat, which may be probably the only one that would carry value on its own. So I may just throw these in a lot. I'm not 100% sure. And this one's not going to be anything earth-shattering. I just thought it was cool. One interesting thing, though, is that all these hats say one size fits all, and they're just absolutely tiny. And you'll find that with a lot of vintage items, that this would, I mean, it doesn't even hardly fit my head. So I don't know what it is. I guess we're either getting bigger or people wear bigger items. And then this, another example of vintage. This was made in USA, actually Fayetteville, North Carolina, ironically, which is a couple hours from here. But this is an adult XL. And I can tell you right now, if you put this on, it would be like a small medium. But I thought this was really cool. So this is, I'm not sure if this is how you say it, Misawa, Japan, which is where we have an Air Force base that may be jointly shared with Japan whenever I was researching this online. But I really thought this vintage sweatshirt was cool, so I bought that. I'm not even sure if I'm going to sell this. I don't know how you would even price it, but I may throw this in the closet and wear this here and there. I just thought it was a really cool shirt. Next up is this Conair Body Benefits. These things do really well. I don't know why, but people buy them. We've sold tons of these in this family. They'll market them in different ways, like a sports one, but they're all pretty much the same thing. You toss them in the tub and some kind of basically portable spa, so to speak. I don't know that this has ever been used, but it is dusty on the inside, so I'll have to figure that out. Next up is this Resell helmet. And so when we get these, I'll tell you, we don't have them for more than a week. Anytime we get these helmets, I will probably just simply pull these stickers off, throw some magic eraser on there. In a matter of 5 minutes, I'll have this thing completely just a straight up blue helmet with a white stripe, and I'll toss it out there. And minimally, these will sell on the low end for $40 plus shipping. So meaning the buyer probably pays $60+ for this. And they can sell for a lot more than that. I'll just have to look at the particular model. It's not in the best shape, but it doesn't seem to matter. People seem to buy these. I'm not seeing this Bitburg, which I guess is who makes the face shield, but I'll have to see how that does. Next up is, I didn't even realize this when I picked it up, but this is the Penguin model of SodaStream, which is the best one that you can buy to my knowledge. And I looked in here. I'm pretty sure this thing has never been used. The CO2s are completely sealed, and if this isn't used, this will sell for probably $100+, especially in the box, maybe even more, because I was looking online. You can't even hardly find these new, but this Penguin SodaStream model just does extremely well. We sold a number of these, you know, whenever we can find them. And especially when you consider that everything that I found so far was $40, So far has been an amazing find. I pulled these golf clubs out of this bag. This bag I will probably, I don't know that it's in good enough shape to even donate. Unfortunately, I'll probably have to throw it away. These 3 clubs I will donate back. But these clubs that I threw into this lot are Ping Zing, and I really shouldn't have those on the concrete there, but it's a whole set of Ping Zing. This is a Ping Zing 2, but everything else is just the original Ping Zing. Looks like this is a black dot, but it is a lob wedge all the way to a 3-iron, and then this is the putter, which looks like some kind of bronze copper Ping 5 by Karsten. This is really, I mean, I don't know that it is really not in the best condition, but I'll have to research this one. But if this was in good shape, could be pretty valuable in and of itself. But I'm thinking that this entire set of Ping Zings, they're in really high demand. These older Ping clubs, for whatever reason, people still buy these. We sold the Ping Zing set on multiple occasions, and I'm thinking probably $130 to $150. I've seen some that sell for more, but these do have a little bit of wear on them. So, but again, I'm already way into the money on this lot, and I have a feeling it's going to get better, and I'll show you why. So whenever I looked down into this tote right here, I immediately saw G.I. Joe, and had already seen that some of the items at this sale were older. But as soon as I saw this entire bag, and then I saw the G.I. Joe logo, and the fact that some of this stuff was dated, like this is dated 1987, this is a command center, I just picked up this entire tote, set it to the side, didn't even think about it. I was like, I'm buying this. And so I have not even been through this yet, which I'm excited to go through. And then this is a command center, which I don't even know if it's complete, what it's even supposed to look like, but this could end up being really good as well. It's dated 1987. And then the other items I picked up in this $40 lot are these 2 cross-country boots. I've sold 1 pair of these before, these Solomon. I'm thinking these are probably like $40 plus shipping a piece. And so again, inside of that $40 lot, one of these pairs will likely pay for every single thing that you just saw here. And then I got this remote control car. It looks like it's somebody just custom built this, and then it came with this remote, which this remote will actually sell in and of itself. But whenever you're lotting things together, I may not have bought this if I wasn't lotting things together, but whenever you do that, you can just get you can take risk and take chances, because pretty much the items that you're getting are free at that point whenever you lot those together. So probably paid nothing for that. And then I'm going to come back to this box because I haven't been through it yet, and we'll see what kind of treasures may be in there. And then the next thing is, I don't often pay up for items unless I can 4 to 5x my money, 4 or 5 times whatever the price is whenever you sell it. But there are some exceptions to the rule. So this is a Brother embroidery and sewing machine combination. Brother model SC600 has a good sell through, and I paid $100 for this. And I haven't been into this box yet, but she said that it was probably like 80 some dollars worth of thread that she bought. So I will look through there and kind of get an idea of what's in there as well. But hopefully this will sell for probably like $230, $240 used. I do need, she says it's only been used like 2 or 3 times. So I did pay up for this, but I know that it'll sell quickly, and it'll probably sell for, probably make around $130, $140 in gross profit on this once it's all said and done. The next up that I bought at other yard sales that was not in that $40 lot, which was including this as well, this was not in the $40 lot, I paid $100, was this Dusty Ninja coffee maker. Chances are we'll part this out, and I'll just toss these little components in the dishwasher and throw them out there, because they're super easy to list, and these things sell extremely quickly. I paid $10 for all of this, but each of these little elements and these ninjas sell, and they're pretty easy to ship. Like this little scoop thing sells, this milk frother on the side sells, the pot sells, the little filter sell, the various attachments, including that, and this. I think this also is a cold brew maker as well. And the next thing up that I bought, I ended up paying $23 for this, not because I made a lower offer, but $23 was all I had without him having to make change, and he said that he didn't care. So, this is a First Act ME273, and some of these First Act guitars can actually do really well. This one seems to be in high demand, and I paid, like I said, $23 for this. Hopefully we can squeeze out maybe around $100 out of this, but I will plug this in, make sure it works, and maybe have a little fun before we sell this. I think I have another First Act guitar that we have not sold yet because we keep playing with it. So we'll see how that all goes. But I will likely have this listed here shortly, and I don't think it'll last very long. The sell-through was really good on this. Next up, at another yard sale, I bought this Penn Squaw reel. It's like an offshore reel for $20. These seem to do really well online. When I looked at comps, this will probably be in that $100 range, and I think it'll sell relatively quickly. So pretty good find there. And then lastly, anytime I see like a box set of books, we've had pretty good success with those on eBay over the years, even for used. And so this is Baseball Card Adventures, the complete collection by Dan Cutman. And so all of these look like they've barely even, I mean, the shell of this has been dinged up, but the actual books themselves look like they've not even hardly been opened. So and the retail price on this was like $95, which is upside down, but $95.88. So hopefully we can squeeze out like $40-50. Camden sells on Amazon. He sells used books, so I may see what kind of how certain things do much better on Amazon. So I may touch base with him and just see how this may do on Amazon, to see if he wants to send this in. But nonetheless, thought it was pretty cool, and I paid $4 for that. So all in all, I think I spent around $187 today between all of these items, and I think we're going to do pretty well. But I think a lot of that, how well, is going to depend on what's in this box. So I'm about to check that out. So the good news, bad news on this brother. I started looking at this and I was like, something is not right here. And apparently there should be a piece for this. And so I don't know what kind of value this is going to bring now, since that piece is missing. I looked at pictures online, so that's a bit of a bummer. I may be able to contact this individual due to the payment method. I may be able to message them because they may still have this and I may have just left it. So I will try that. But the good news is that one thing that I was not expecting, and this is completely on me, this is my fault. I should have caught that, because whenever I turned this around, I knew something looked off. But whenever I opened this box of thread was completely sealed, and I did not know that this stuff was so expensive. But I guess in this kind of quantity in this kit, there's listings for well over $200 for this exact same kit, and just a recent sale of $100. So this kind of mitigates my risk quite a bit, just based off of this being sealed, which I didn't know. So sometimes you're better lucky than good. And so hopefully I can sell this, and I may try to touch base with them or see how much this replacement part is. But nonetheless, you live and you learn. And this was, I probably would not have paid that much for this if this piece was missing. So I will do some research on this and see if I can maybe recover this piece somehow, or just sell this as parts only. Either way, we're going to come up with a profit here. It's just going to be a matter of how much is it diminished just based off of this piece being missing. And again, completely my fault. All right, so I have dug into the G.I. Joe lot, and it is majorly overwhelming. Much more so than I ever in a million years thought, which is going to be a blessing and a curse. There's a ton of money in this lot. it's going to take a good amount of work, like an archaeological dig, to possibly put together complete sets because that tremendously affects the value of these. I'm also going to have to order some bands or washers, I believe they're called, for these to put some of these figures back together. But I think there's going to be tremendous value in this lot. So check this out, and I think you'll see what I'm saying whenever I say overwhelming. So here is everything completely unwound, and then I put this command center separate, and I did find the actual original instructions, and oddly enough, they never put the decals on this, and so these decals are probably 30 some odd years old, so I don't know that they're even going to stick at this point. But if you look at all these, I've got the potential to have complete sets here, but it's going to take, like I said, it's going to take some work. And so you can see some of these figures. There's Sergeant Slaughter there with the blue on, which is pretty cool. And I'm sure some of these will probably have some good value on their own, especially if we can complete some of these. And being complete just means everything that it originally came with. So like if they were holding anything, any weapons, guns, and as you can see, there's various items throughout here. There's a hat. The only thing in here I know that isn't G.I. Joe, or at least I don't think is this guy right here and this little vehicle. This is actually Visionaries Knights of the Magical Light, which I don't really remember much of when I was a kid, but this would probably have been during my childhood, so some of you guys may know about that, but I just not super familiar. I think everything else here, to my knowledge, is probably G.I. Joe. And so one cool thing is they saved a lot of these original cards. You know, obviously it would be nice to have them original in the box, but these were played with, which is certainly good. But you can see Snake Eyes, long range, so we can throw those in as long as we have these guys. And then I also have some of the original instructions for these things, which will also help us put these together. The one thing about these, though, is it's kind of like doing a jigsaw puzzle. The more that you get put complete, or you can pull the pieces out, the less there is to choose from. So the other ones get easier and easier to kind of put together. So you'll see all these various accessories that go with this. So this is going to take a considerable amount of time, but I think it's going to be well worth it. And let's probably try to put as much of this together as we reasonably can, and then which will up the value tremendously and get those listed. All right, guys, so I'm back, and I've made tremendous progress with this lot. So I wanted to show you this and kind of give my overall assessment and appraisal of these items that you saw today. So check it out. So of all that craziness that you saw, this is all that I'm left with that I don't have a place for, that I couldn't find on Google Images and various G.I. Joe sites. So here is the lay of the land on the figures, not the vehicles and command centers and bases and all of those things. So I've really got these organized by value, with the least value probably on the bottom and the most value at the top. And so I was just going to kind of run through these just high level, just to kind of give you an idea. So for some of these, like I could only find the card and some of the accessories for the guy, like this Snake Eyes guy. But the reason that sometimes you don't want to throw these things away, and you really want to try to find them, because this little guy, this little TNT bag, can sell for $10 to up to $20, just that little thing. I didn't even see a listing for this, but this particular figure is just one little accessory with a figure, which is really expensive. So if somebody's missing a piece, that can be really good. This came from 1985 Lady J's javelin gun. Didn't see a ton on that one, so I just left it at the bottom as far as value-wise goes. Here's one little accessory from a 1989 Cobra Ally Speed. So this is just a shield that might sell for like 10, 15 bucks possibly. So that's the reason that you really want to look for these accessories. So these are just stands, all from 1988, so the figures will stand on there. I'm not sure which ones I'll pair these up with. I'll probably try to find years that match. But even this, you're probably looking at maybe 12, 15 bucks if you sold all of those just on their own. This actually are the outliers, these 3 items, these 4 items. These are 2 are from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This one I don't think is even worth listing. This might sell for like $10 or so. This is He-Man Masters of the Universe Skeletor sword. Might sell, I think I was seeing around $20 for this little accessory. And this ironically is from Star Wars, 1983. It doesn't have the cape on it, but it might be like $10. It's nothing major. So this next row right here is all things that I think will be in that $15 to $20 range. So this is the only, this is like a micro figure collection. So this is just a series that they did, and it's the only one that I have like that. So some of these, I'm going to have to order kits to get new O-rings and the little hook pieces to put these back together and just make sure, and I might have to replace some screws on some of these. So these are all probably in that $15, $20 range once I have these repaired. And I'm going to be ordering a little kit to do that. It's not super difficult if you ever find these and they're not together. This is a gyro, I think this is Gyro Viper. This actually goes with one of the vehicles, so I'll have to decide if I want to sell that with the vehicle or not. So these are all what I would estimate to probably be in that $15, $20 range once they're repaired. This is only a file card, but I think it will still sell for like $10. So not bad, especially when you pay $40 for the whole lot. Next row is probably in that $25 to $20 to $30 range. So you've got this Flak Viper guy here. You've got this Major Blood guy with this backpack, but check this out. I don't know if this is going to get picked up, but these batteries are probably 30 years old. And it's still making noise, which is just crazy to me that the batteries are still working. I guess they don't make batteries the way they used to. These 2 go with a helicopter that I have. And so I'll have to put one back together. One's already together. And some of these are together, but they're very loose. So I'll probably replace the screws in them. But here's another guy. You can see that's another one that will need to be put back together. Next row are what I'm thinking will probably be in the $30 to $40 range. So one of my favorites, Sergeant Slaughter Blue, may have showed that earlier. So I've got this guy, I've got the original box, and so on the back of G.I. Joe's, it has that card that you're seeing with some of the others, so I just kept that all intact. I've got this guy, I think he's called Red Star, and I think he's fully complete, which is why I kind of have him in that $30, $40 range. Same with, this is Sergeant Duke, I believe. And then this is a Destro. And so this thing shoots disc, and it still shoots and spins. And a lot of these guns still, like the spring in these, will fire the bullets off. They still work. So there's another guy, Gung Ho. And then Steamroller, which actually goes with one of the, I think Thunderclap, which is a vehicle that I have that I'll be showing you later. And then I've got this guy. So I'm thinking these are probably in the $40 to $50 range. So this guy, heavy duty, I think he's fully complete with all his accessories. Same thing here. And he's got like, this is Mutt and Junkyard, and he actually has this little dog figure with him, which is pretty cool. And this is Backblast with all his accessories. And then we've got this Headhunters. I may clean this file card up a little bit and get that sent out in a little bit better fashion. And then you'll see back here in the high value section is these two right here. These are just the legs for the guy. Poor little guy here got destroyed. But this is one that's fully complete. And so I'm going to show you some RC cars in a bit that are called Crossfires, which are apparently very rare. And so this little guy right here, if I sell him by himself, may sell for well over $100 because he has his hat and he has this original gun. This guy is rare. And so I've seen $120, $150 for the guy alone. And just these little accessories that he comes with sell for a lot. So I actually found another set of legs because I have 2 of these. So originally, I think the owner of this lot had 2 of these. I don't see any listings or any sales, but I really feel like this will sell and sell quickly because this guy seems to carry a lot of value. So if I'm just going to put kind of a quick appraisal on this entire lot right here that you're seeing that I just showed you, all in, I think you're looking at probably around $700 by the time it's all said and done. And I tried to be kind of in an intermediate because a lot of these you don't know 100% what they're going to sell for. I can only give you an idea based off of what I'm seeing from comparables. So anyway, I'm going to show you the vehicles next and we'll try to get a total value altogether. So I'm going to take these vehicles on kind of like I did the figures, lowest value and then go up. So I will break these down a little bit at a time. And I'd like to credit GIJoePit.com. I found this website and it was actually really, really good for finding the pieces for these. That for anything that I needed to supplement that I couldn't really locate in eBay or Google image searches. So this first piece up is nearly complete. This is a Tiger Force. Looks like a little 4-wheeler. The one thing is it's missing this little fender well right here, but and maybe one other piece. But I'm thinking this is probably in that $30, $35 range. This next thing is called a Tri-Blaster. This is fully complete. And it has the instructions. So I'm thinking maybe like 25 bucks for this. And then this is one of the outliers that I showed you earlier. These Knights of the Magical Light Visionaries Lancer Cycle. I'm thinking probably in the maybe $40 to $60 range, just depending. It is missing this one little rear view mirror that has a hologram. The guy is also missing the front. But I still think based off of what I'm seeing online, we still will be able to get probably in that, maybe I'll go as low as 40, as high as 60, somewhere in that range. Next up in that same family are from the vehicles that you saw before as far as value-wise. So this is a anti-gravity pod Cobra little accessory here, and then there's this Cobra adder that have the instructions. These may not actually be, I don't believe these are fully complete, but they do have pieces that I know that people are always looking for, especially like these missiles to complete a set, or maybe are missing this. But I'm thinking these are probably both in that $25 to $35 range, somewhere in there. So we will get these listed up. So these didn't carry as much value as some of the others, but we'll definitely take it on a $40 purchase. And this is another item I should have probably shown first, but this is a Cobra Stellar Stiletto. With the instructions, they never put the decals on this, so I'm not sure what that does to the value. This one was almost complete, but this is supposed to have hoses on both sides. It has all its little missiles and everything along those lines. So this one's probably going to be like in that $15, $20 range, somewhere in there. Probably somebody who just wants to have this for parts, if I had to guess. So we'll get that listed up as well. But that should have probably been one of the first ones I've shown just from a value perspective. Next up is this Cobra Mamba helicopter. This I've got, I believe, nearly complete. This one is a little difficult to value because the comps are all over the place. But I do have, I believe, just almost all of this there. These, there's a little switch on the bottom that turns these propellers, and it doesn't work super well. I'm thinking just right offhand, probably on the low side 50, and then on the high side $80 to $90. So we may put this out there. And some of this I may just even put up for auction because that may help settle what the market value truly is on these. But that's just kind of what I'm thinking on that. But I thought that was a pretty cool piece. So I'm estimating this is probably going to be in that same range as the helicopter. So this is called a Cobra Hydrofoil, and it is probably nearly complete, but it does make me nervous to list something as complete whenever it has so many pieces that you can easily miss. I don't believe this is fully complete, but I believe it's close enough where this would probably get fetched probably in that same range, $60 on the low side, maybe $80 to $90 on the high side. But really another cool piece, and I think these... whoever owned these before, they really like to collect some of the bad guys anyway. So another neat piece that I think will sell pretty quick. Next up that was in that lot is this G.I. Joe Thunderclap. It comes with the original instructions. I believe this is near complete. So this gun sits on here somehow. I didn't click it in just so you could kind of see. And it has these little seat belts that I just found out that they actually go with this. And so I just put them together with that. But you've got these little missile storage container things and various things. So I'm thinking this right here, although I don't know if it's fully complete, I think it's close enough to where this will probably be in the $80 to $120 range, just depending on what the market does at the particular time. But based off of the comps that I'm seeing, I think a set that is nearly as complete with this and the original instructions will probably be in that range. Next up is this G.I. Joe Mobile Command Center, and this thing is huge, has tons and tons of pieces, and I don't think I've ever fully mastered putting this together. This actually unfolds and becomes one big massive base, and you can see as it comes around there as well. I'm not going to undo it right now because me and this guy have had some battles, and so I just don't want to open it one more time and have to close it down. But it has these various accessories and like missiles and guns everywhere that go with it. I've got the original instructions, a ton of little accessories here that go with this. Thanks to that GIJoePit.com, I was able to kind of decipher all the little pieces that go with this. Again, I would never list this as complete because it's so easy to miss one piece, but it's pretty close. The one challenge I'm going to have is I don't know what value this is going to have because I don't know that these are going to stick. And I have them. They were never put on there. So on the high side, this would probably sell for around $200. I'm going to pull the value down just a little bit because I'm not sure about these decals. So I'm going to say probably $150 is what I'm going to estimate, maybe plus the cost of shipping. So maybe we'll try to flash on the screen what this looks like unfolded. But so really cool find here, but this thing is huge. So I'll probably take a picture of everything it comes with and then list it and then let a G.I. Joe aficionado figure out what to do and how to put this all back together. And last but not least are these two remote control G.I. Joe cars. This is an Alpha 27. This is a Delta 49. If I just looked at that total lot, I would not have thought that this is what carries the most value. But I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the video, I showed the driver for these and how much. I just saw a listing for that driver that just sold. The driver alone, the little figure that I showed you earlier, sold for $200. And then these guys, if you can get them complete, they can be well over $300, $400. So I don't know exactly what these are going to go for. I will probably try to get one of these as complete as I can. I've seen these remotes alone selling for $80. I saw this missile right here selling for $25 plus shipping. I saw this thing selling for like $40 by itself. So these must be very rare. And I just got so lucky here with this lot. But I'm going to just conservatively say probably, I think we're looking at $400 to $450 here between both of these cars combined. What a blessing of a find this was. Again, I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was going to be worth $40. I just didn't know it was that good. Anyway, super excited about this lot, and so I'm going to try to come up with a final figure for us. So my final assessment and what I think the total appraised value of this G.I. Joe lot I found last weekend is probably around $1,500. Again, there's not an exact science to this. We could come in better than that, maybe a little lower than that. But for a $40 purchase, and that doesn't even count the SodaStream machine, the golf clubs, the football helmet, which I think already sold yesterday. We listed it yesterday. What an amazing find at that yard sale. I just put a huge stack of stuff together that I was interested in. I wasn't valuing it that closely. And I asked for what she would sell the whole pile for, and $40 it was. So what an amazing blessing that is. So $40, maybe $1,500 on this one lot alone. That's probably like the third or fourth really large toy lot that we found. You're not going to find that every time you go out. You have to be consistent, but eventually you will hit some grand slams like this. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today. Please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.